Yeah, not just any mall, but well, I guess you guys went to the convention. No, Mall of America.
The big mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mall of America. Yep.
I saw you and your sister on the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny we bumped into you there, but I was glad we did, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Cascade Stereoscopic Club monthly meeting and also the Cascade exhibition. We completed the judging last month, and we'll show all the accepted HMs and medal winners from that exhibition. And so anyway, normally we do the theme photos first, but because to respect the time of people in other time zones, we'll do the exhibition first. And so anyway, um, so the theme of the meeting when we get to it is gardens and gardening, but first the exhibition. So the open section. Um, and if people have comments, feel free to make your comments because the judging is all completed.
That's good.
Mark, did you were one of the judges, right?
Yes. Yep.
How was that experience?
Boy, we looked at a lot of images in not that long of a time. It was fun, though. Fun to see all the good images and a few bad ones.
I remember that nice picture. Oh.
And Les was also a judge.
So, Herb, are we going in any kind of order, like ascending up to the medal winners then? Or
That's what we're doing
Okay.
in general.
I thought that was a pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So actually, you can find the catalogs online. So this is the catalog for the Cascade exhibition, and then there's another catalog for the PSA exhibition. Those are both online, and the online gallery is also available. And the online gallery is identical to what we're viewing tonight. The one difference from the catalog is if somebody was disqualified for winning a medal or HM because you're limited to one award per section, the catalog shows it in the strict order that it was. So you might see in the catalog some accepted entries above some HM entries because they did better, but they were disqualified. But on the tonight, because the slides designate the beginning of the HMs and the beginning of the awards, I resorted the images so that the medal winners are the last three we'll look at. So.
You know, that last picture I'd either seen that before or one similar to it. Maybe even in the judging there were two that were similar, but it's pretty interesting. You know, I keep wondering how they did it.
It looks like some of the ones I've done in Mirror Lab.
Right.
Well, but you can't use everything has to be photographically originated for.
Yeah, so that's how Mirror Lab works. You put a photo in it, and you use the software to manipulate it.
Okay.
Yikes.
Ford truck.
Yeah, nice toy-like.
Where does anybody know where this is?
I don't.
There,
There,
Levi at night.
yeah. So we don't get any information other than the title of the slide. So everything we have is here. I mean, unless somebody recognized it.
That's it. I was just asking if anybody knew where Levi was.
Yeah.
I can Google it.
Okay.
Colorado or Utah, I was gonna guess. You know.
Ah,
No.
And just a comment about the title on this. I mean, some people, maybe great photographers, but they don't read because it says the title will appear exactly as you entered it. So if somebody enters this as their title, that's what will happen.
That is a nice picture, though.
Yeah.
Very attractive.
yeah.
Kind of Disney-esque. Yikes. He's got a bow.
That really caught that at the right time.
Or was it a what do they call it? Composite or something like that?
Seems a little odd, yeah. Like there's less depth on the horse itself, for instance.
Looks to me like a W3 shot.
Could be, yeah. Could be.
The window's been pulled towards the window. It's been pulled forward, so that's why it's a little different.
No, does
It's
Mark
also-
use a W3?
It is weird how there's so much depth in the people in the background, and yet the horse and the rider are pretty flat.
I think it might be a very telephoto stereo photo, which can kind of flatten the layers.
And you think the background would be pretty flat too, though. There's quite a bit of depth in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wow.
Is there something like a hidden meaning to this, or
You know as much as we do. Unless
well, I don't know. Maybe somebody knows Banksy a little bit better than I do.
Somebody.
So Banksy is a street artist in London. He's very famous. His work sells for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Nobody basically knows who the guy is, and he just does street art. He'll put something up, and that's it. He doesn't,
And they don't call it graffiti?
It is graffiti, and some of it is very much illegal. but there are also museums around the world dedicated to his art. So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Banksy has anything to do with the. I mean, I think of Doctor Who when I see those phone booths, but
That's just an iconic thing of London, and that's where he's from.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think this picture is an example of his work?
No. Well, you can see his work in the bottom right corner. There's a stencil of a little girl pointing up at the rest of the art. But that's the only part that's actually Banksy's work that's in this.
The lady who photographed that is from Germany. Tall lady that has red hair and does a lot with David Kuntz.
So what do you think, Herb?
Not as spectacular as some of the stuff Mark has done.
No, I agree with that.
Interesting.
Neat to get the shadow in there.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing the photographer's shadow didn't get in there too. Good planning there.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Good shot, Matt.
I like the title on that one. I didn't get the catalog, so this is the first time I'm seeing the titles on these.
Okay, the catalog is online, so you can look at it as download it as a PDF. Or if you had been at the meeting, you could have looked at one in person.
Yeah, that's nicely done. There was another one like this. I remember judged, I think, and this is a nice one.
Yeah, I entered a similar one.
That's kind of clever for a flower picture. You know, you're really looking into it. A little different.
Yeah.
Another flower picture. And I'm sure it's an obvious point to make to you all, but yeah, I mean the plants are so great in 3D close-ups because you know it's just a structure you don't see at the regular scale that much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, unless you're really taking time to look at it. They're all around us, but we don't look at them generally.
Yeah, good point.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Jim Metcalf.
Okay, so HMs.
Yeah, he nailed that one.
Right, right.
Mm.
Bet those are hard to capture.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nicely done.
Okay, so congratulations to everybody who was accepted or got HMs or medals. And now altered reality. And this is altered reality has always been my favorite section. Not that I'm capable of shooting anything this good, but
Vanessa again.
Now you can create your own with the AI, just like that.
yeah, but not for entering in an exhibition.
Right.
We got the can of spray paint
Yeah.
thing up there. That's nice. I like that. Now, does anybody know how this was done? If it started with a camera negative, or a photograph, sorry, a photograph.
So my guess is there were some lights, and he just reproduced it over and over again, going back into the distance, because the same pattern.
Yeah, yeah.
It might have been like inside a geodesic dome with, the edges there, and then he just reproduced. I don't know.
Actually, I think it's the other way around. He just had a picture of a fence, which is the furthest point, and then he zoomed in and brought each layer forward.
Oh, okay. That makes sense as well.
And here I thought it was a like a museum, or one of those museums of illusions that he went to. So it was set up like this with a some type of mirror optical illusion.
That's a possibility too.
Oh, that's nice composition there. Oh, the vertical building. That's what it said. That's different.
Not sure I would call that handsome.
I thought this is pretty good for the kind of thing it is. It's obviously a reflection down the center, but still it manages to look pretty good.
How the middle platform sticks out of the, seems to, because of the way it's cropped.
That's a good picture. Oh, look, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
This one I had to look at the title before I saw the ant.
Oh, another one of these.
Oops.
Yeah,
There's the thing, yeah. There are only three
I like this
HMs.
one. Cleverly done.
Yeah.
Almost looks like somebody's face.
Yeah, I
I think
noticed
that's
that.
what it's supposed to do.
Like a demon, yeah.
I like this one. This is
Yeah.
a clever idea.
Now they got SpongeBob SquarePants thing like Mall of America. Huh, encroachment. Interesting.
And now landscapes, seascapes, cityscapes.
Embarker Aretino.
I've actually been to Crystal Mountain.
Crystal Mountain, Washington.
What, up in Washington? I don't know unless there's more than one Crystal Mountain.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've been there too. I don't remember it well enough to. It's basically skiing.
I missed that skiing. I skied all around it, but not that one. I don't know why. Just not over there.
Monolitos. Quite well, yeah.
Yeah, I like how the searchlights come in the foreground. Jeez.
I'm not sure I'd want to stand where that guy's standing.
Yeah.
It looks like it could collapse.
Herb, I've got a question. Is there a way I can make those images bigger on my screen? One viewer works better with bigger images,
Okay. So
better
are you
color.
are you using Stereopix rooms to view them?
yes, with a side-by-side viewer parallel.
I see. So, unless you had a widescreen monitor, I'm not sure how you would be able to make it bigger because I think the maximum width would be the the width of your screen. Anybody else have any ideas?
If
Well,
you,
I have
if
a
you-
lot of black around it. There's lots of room to make it bigger on my screen.
if you click on the image, you should get the StereoPix menu, and there is a width bar that you might try playing with. There's also a button that says full screen.
Yes, I see the width. Thank you.
You can try that. I'm not sure if it'll work for your monitor, but
Well, it is making it bigger.
Well, good.
Thank you.
I'm glad that worked for you.
I can read the writing below easier too.
good.
Delicate arches there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they wouldn't survive an earthquake.
Wow. Hope the mosquitoes aren't too bad there.
Yeah, this is another place I wouldn't want to sit.
Yeah,
See that big crack?
no kidding.
Oh, below them? Yeah. Yeah, that is a crack, isn't
Yeah,
it? Well, it's a, yeah, either a crack or maybe it was,
but it's on a different level. But
yeah.
good job.
I remember I was here the night of the judging, and I noticed there were several pictures that seemed to include the image of, I think that's Diana, the Greek goddess Diana with the bow. That came up 3 or 4 times. I mean, they weren't all here. They were just different places. Maybe we'll see another one before it's over.
Well, some of them were, we judged 2 different exhibitions,
That it could be that too.
and I don't recall where.
Now, is for that one back there with the effects from the lights? Is that a particular lens that Mark used to get that effect?
Filter possibly, yeah.
You'll get that if you're shooting long exposures with a small aperture.
Okay.
I think in the old film days, you could get that kind of effect just from the different blades of the aperture, but I don't know in a digital camera how you would go about getting that.
You have to have, every lens has an aperture. You just have to work with the aperture that you have to get the effect that you want, and it takes a longer exposure at a wider aperture.
And would that give you the starburst pattern on the lights that you see?
Depending on the lens, yes, that's a feature of the lens that's used. You can get it with a filter, but this isn't done with a filter.
Okay.
This is just small aperture, long exposure.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh, nice. that's quite some deal. Jeff Ewan. Yeah, very similar color technique to Jeff's last picture. Mono Lake. And where? Somebody remind me where Mono Lake is. Is that California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of along the eastern side.
Okay.
If you go across, what is it, Yellowstone out the east entrance?
That would be Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite out the east entrance.
Mhm.
Entrance, you come to that.
I'd have to say that's a composite. The timing of that is amazing.
Maybe he knew it was a flight path, you know. And
No, it's more likely a composite. Well, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but
it's well done, but
oh, Mount St. Helens. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it shows the depth
Right.
nicely.
Shasta.
well, if this one, I
yeah.
was just gonna say, the previous one and the one right before that, it seemed like the pictures were taken, like this one looks dark and yet the sky is blue and the bright, and the clouds in the background. And the previous one, it was like there you got a really dark sky and yet the foreground looks very well lit.
Oh, yeah.
So just kind of juxtaposition of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've seen an aerial photo of Sydney, and there is quite a bit of water in that town. You know, waterways all over the place. Yeah.
Now this is the one that makes me pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to walk on that trail there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Walk? What about mountain biking?
Oh, yeah.
You'll see like GoPro videos of stuff that I don't know if it's quite that bad, but it's pretty. It's more than I do. Ewan's got a lot of good stuff in here. Formation.
You know, if people are better photographers than typists, then so be
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Basically I have it in the COE. I don't want to get into second guessing people or
What they
trying to do any corrections. So whatever they do exactly as they type it, that's what it's going to be.
That's how you say it after you slipped off that cliff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Formation.
Yeah. My. Georgetown. I knew that was George. Yeah, remember that. My wife would like that one. She's from Chicago. But didn't somebody have a question about this one? This is the gold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like they thought it was a model or something, but I mean it's just a hyper, you know.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, hypers tend to look like models sometimes, so
Right.
it's just the way it works.
Okay, so good job everyone who got accepted in any of them. And so anyway, these are the theme images. So if Don wants to say anything about any of his.
This is just up the Japanese gardens in Portland.
Yeah. I was there last April about. It's the first time ever. It's a nice place.
I've been there a few
Japanese
times.
garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise, the Japanese gardens.
Yeah, fall really is the best time to go. Because the variety of leaves that fall in there is so many colors.
I kind of like the leaves under the water there. It's kind of what I was liking there.
And then Bob. Is Bob not here? I guess Bob isn't here.
Oh yeah, Miss Bob again.
So I'll just go through his images.
Got a flower.
It's a nice balance of color with the white. Yeah. It's very nice.
Now, Herb, can you see the names of his pictures?
Let me see if I have that. So
That's okay if you can't find it.
This is 148. So it's, oh boy, how do I say that? Bowen, B-O-D-N-A-R, Bonehart Garden, Wales.
Wales, okay.
So he has, you know, a few of those. The next one is also that.
So that's the rose garden.
This is still Bob, though.
Yes.
He'd be in. This could be anywhere. But
No, it's the same gardens.
say the Welsh Gardens.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one, the previous one had the same name. This is something different.
Right. Probably also in the United Kingdom, though, I bet.
And
Austria.
so Bob did a couple of these style slides last month where the image sticks out from the slide, and the title last month and this month were only on the left slide, and it was I didn't have time to correct it last month, but this time, you know, I caught it, so I basically just replicated the title onto the right slide so it doesn't hurt your eyes as much.
Yeah, he uses some software that came with a Pokeyoke viewer,
Okay.
and it produces cards that look like this. So and he collects the cards in an album.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
So that's when you want a maze, but you don't want people stuck in there.
Mhm.
I guess that's the point. Yeah, you wouldn't walk down the center of those green paths, though. I don't think.
Well, the green path. Oh,
Is-
yeah.
With the inside, inside the curves.
So you can only see the pattern from the palace veranda. So
yeah.
not for the commoners.
So there's a peacock all folded up.
Oh, that's different.
Okay, and Ken.
Okay, these are all pictures. Most of them were taken with the red hydrogen one, and I just went out earlier this month and went to the backyard and took some pictures in the garden. So there were a lot of bees flying around the squash flowers. I tried to do what Steve does, but not nearly as close or as sharp. But I like the one shadow on the one bee on this one.
Yeah.
There's some cherry tomatoes.
I can give you a tip. You need to use a faster shutter speed when you're shooting bees.
Ah, I took a lot of shots. They're hard to catch. A lot of coneflowers. There's some cucumbers.
That's It's smart to grow them up on a rack like that so they aren't hidden underneath all the leaves and everything.
Oh yeah, and they form very well. Now these are black walnuts. We've got a whole bunch of black walnut trees on our property.
Yeah.
And what you have to, you know, you really have to be careful when they start to ripen and fall. Especially, you know, if it's like windy outside, you don't want to walk under a black walnut tree.
Yeah.
I've been out there on a windy day, and these things are like bigger than a golf ball, and really dense. And if one of those hits you, you'll feel it.
Wow.
You'll see stars.
Yeah, we got some of those where I live, just in the next county north in Washington. I never saw them before I came down to this area. I used to wonder what the heck they were, and they're kind of a mess too when they land on the road and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you know, there's so many of them when they fall out of a tree. You know, there's like, you know, in every square foot there's probably half a dozen of them, and so you can't walk without sliding on those things.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you know, I used to think fruit trees would be really cool to have, but you know, once they get too tall to pick the fruit, they're more of a pain than they are anything else.
You have to clean up after them.
You have to open those by hitting them with a hammer on concrete or driving over them. They are tough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was
Okay.
taken. This picture was taken with a X-Real Beam Pro. This is the one picture I took with that. Some tree lilies.
Red hydrogen one again.
Yes.
That's
Back
a nice
to that.
photo. Nice photo.
And a small teacup rose.
Thank you, Ken. And Jim.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is at a nursery, a wholesale nursery. These are the cones, and they do grow up like that. This is at a Providence clinic, and the person that works there has this little garden on the shelf, and you'll see her picture in the next slide. There she is. She says, "I'm famous there at that clinic for my 3D. I stop and talk to them about 3D and lend them that 3D pop-up book."
Mm-hmm.
You've given her the anaglyph glasses, right?
Oh, sure have. Yeah. And this was just a garden that I came across on a walk in Portland. And this is some near where I live in Portland. And front porch of an apartment house. And there's the plants in the background, Andy. And then you want to include kelp in the garden category?
Sure.
There's kelp.
I mean, one of the nice things about these is we don't have rules. We don't say, oh, that's disqualified.
So just interpret it any way you want. And,
Yep.
and somebody said, what if it's the opposite of the theme? Okay, that's okay too. And this is a friend's squash plant. This is the Empress Hotel in Victoria.
Yeah.
And the cactus garden in Arizona, I think. And this was taken in Grand Rapids, Michigan, at the Meyer Gardens, and you'll see some more pictures I took in the open projector. They have the tropical garden and they have the cactus garden.
Prickly.
Oh, yes. You don't need it. I figured you wouldn't need to have a sign on it that says, please don't touch.
I would not expect those in Michigan.
No. Well, it's an indoor garden,
Yeah, yeah.
climate controlled, and then this is my porch. I have a big balcony facing the south, so I have tomatoes too.
Yep. I like those raised beds.
Yeah, it has an automatic watering system too. It has a reservoir in the bottom. Yeah, those have been real good for me.
Yep.
Okay, so welcome, Zhao. Is that the correct pronunciation of your name? And thanks, Jim, for your photos. And
You're welcome.
And so mine are all AI photos. This is a cat meditating in a Japanese garden.
No, and then you used you're using Owl 3D.
I'm using Owl, so I'm using Midjourney to create the images, then Owl 3D to convert them to 3D.
I downloaded Owl this week and tried it. And yeah, it does a pretty phenomenal job.
And this is a cat staring at its reflection in a Japanese garden. And this is a cat carrying an umbrella in a rainstorm in a Japanese garden.
Now, how is the cat carrying it?
Yeah.
Well, AI figures out a way to make the cat carry the umbrella. And this is a cat in a canoe in a Japanese garden.
And seen on here, you know, the depth that Owl creates is really pretty substantial.
Mm-hmm. And this is a cat climbing a ladder to pick apples. And the only thing, I mean, so the thing that's sort of weird is how Midjourney put both paws on the same side of the ladder. But other than that, I like the cat climbing a ladder to pick apples. We're getting an echo from someone. So the thing that's sort of weird is how Midjourney put both paws on. Okay, so it was an echo from there, so I muted him. Okay, and so this is a cat picking pussy willows.
Yeah.
That's a good one. They all are.
And this is a cat with a butterfly landing on his paw in a garden. See, I had to put the word garden in all my images to make it fit in with the theme.
Yeah.
And this is a cat with a scarecrow in a garden.
Now, some of the cats look like natural cats, and other cats, you know, are dressed up. Do Is there a difference?
It probably had to do with the prompt. If I sometimes said a cat, like if I say a cat standing on a ladder, you know, where I'd have to look in. So if any of I'll have a QR code as my last slide, but if any of you download the book, then the exact prompts for every one of these images is in the book. So you can see exactly what the prompt was. And sometimes the prompt, I mean the image that came up with is not exactly what I said in the prompt. But if I liked the image, I just used it. And so this is a cat picking money off of a money tree in a garden. And so I said, you know, cat standing on its hind legs, dressed in casual clothing, wearing a hat. I don't remember exactly what I did, but, you know, so it...
And here I've always heard money doesn't grow on trees.
You know, maybe this is just a bush. Maybe money
okay.
grows on bushes.
Yeah.
And so if you scan the QR code, it'll take you to the website. The book is available as a PDF download. So so feel free to download it and look at it on your computer or print it out, whatever you wish to do. It's too much effort for me to try selling it and worry about fulfillment and shipping. So I just said, okay, I'll put it on the web, make it available to anybody.
Herb, do you decide whether the background will be in focus or not?
No. As a matter of fact, there were some times where I even tried in vain to tell Midjourney to keep the whole photo in focus, and it ignored it. So it just does what it can be very stubborn. It will do what it wants to do. And so because I think last time it was David who asked me to you know, tell it to put the photos in focus, and so I told it that for several of the prompts, and it just said, no, I'm not going to do it. So I stopped. When you ask for something enough and you don't get it, you just stop asking.
You should try asking it for depth of field.
Oh, okay. I will try that. Yeah, and one of the things with AI is often if you change the words, you'll get what you want. So that's a good suggestion, Steve. Okay, and Steve's photos.
Okay, so this is a grasshopper that was in our garden some years back. And
I like that effect.
I took this with my my Samsung phone, just a cha-cha.
That's clever.
This is with the red hydrogen one. Most of these I took in the last couple of weeks. Just while I'm walking the dog, I look for flowers and bees. That's when I got really lucky.
Yeah, like some translucence in the bee, it looks like.
Well, they all have that.
I suppose,
Well,
but
depends
you don't
on the
often
variety.
see it, you know?
Yeah.
His tongue sticking out.
Yeah.
He's got a nut in his mouth if you look close.
Okay.
No, okay.
I thought it was his tongue.
Yeah,
I thought he was yelling at you there.
Yeah.
Get lost.
He doesn't
We're
want
like,
me
hey,
to
that's a
take
3D camera. I don't see many of those.
Maybe I'm the nut. Again, with the red hydrogen one,
Wow.
This one's got a little bit too much parallax in the background, but I didn't have time to
Yeah.
fix it for tonight.
Now, how close were you to that flower?
About 6 or 7 inches.
Okay.
The antenna
again-
is drooping. Oh, it's a leg. Okay.
The secret is turn the shutter speed all the way up about 1,000th of a second, and then let everything else go automatic.
Well,
Or well, you have to dial in the brightness using the ISO, but even at the highest ISO, it's very usable.
ooh,
See,
Yeah, there's a little too much disparity here.
My
Yeah.
eyes had to adjust, but
Yeah.
I get the central image.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it was a big shift from the previous.
yeah. Again, I didn't have time to edit these very well. They're just adjusted in Stereo Photo Maker and sent off this morning.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Now it's closer again, yeah. That's a good,
That's great focus.
yeah. That's very nice.
You like the transparency of the wing, the back wing. It's like you almost
Yeah.
can't see it at all. This is a bug house that hangs from a tree in the neighbor's garden.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I had never seen a bug house.
It attracts bugs inside, and then you can see the hole where birds can go in there and get the bugs. It's
Oh.
for hummingbirds.
Oh,
So you put something inside that attracts the bugs, and then the bugs attract the birds.
Oh, wow.
very interesting.
Where does one buy one of those?
You build
Oh,
it.
I don't know.
It
Is
looks like it was home built.
Yeah, somebody made it, I'm sure.
Wow. What an idea I hadn't thought of before.
It's not a new idea, but yeah.
It is to me.
And this is the children's garden at Emmanuel Hospital.
Emmanuel's the one near I-5. It's the long I-5.
Yeah, it's close to there.
Okay, and Mark.
Yeah, so I had to use the time machine for my images here. So my dad was a big iris fanatic, and he cultivated and grew all these iris. These were shot in 1989, and so there's several shots of his fields of iris there. He even would cross-pollinate different ones to make different colors.
Wow.
And so yeah, he loved iris.
Wow. And a nice chunk of property too.
Yeah, they had some acreage next to the house, and he took advantage of a lot of it for irises. That's me and my mom and dad there displaying the iris. And this was the same year as my wife. We had a pretty decent garden that year. Since then, we haven't had much luck growing anything up there, but she had just harvested a bunch of peas there in the bowl. I was actually up on the roof doing some work on the roof, so that's why I had a high vantage point there.
Hmm.
All right, so now we're moving ahead a few years. This is 1996, and my daughter and I were harvesting pumpkins
See,
in the garden. We had a giant one she was sitting on, and I think she's holding a little tiny one there too. And she was picking tomatoes.
Yeah, those tomatoes are ready for picking.
And back to pumpkins. She had a little wheelbarrow, so she was displaying her favorite pumpkin there. She's 31
cute.
years old now, so these are from quite a ways back here.
Okay. And Benoit, you might need to unmute yourself. I muted you earlier.
You may be listening on the delayed YouTube. It sounds like everything was way delayed there.
Way delayed, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll show the images, and if you want to say anything about them, feel free to unmute and speak up.
Oh, very nice.
Nice lighting. Wow.
Yeah, like a cake.
Yeah.
Pretty. Nice color transition. There we go again. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, strong color.
I wonder, are you using Adaptalux lights?
Oh,
They seem very precise.
Whatever it is, it's sure working out good.
I can't tell if he's trying to say. Were you trying to say anything, Fenghua? Were you trying to speak?
You're muted.
All right.
Maybe you can't hear.
Or speak. Yeah, English.
Beautiful.
Yeah, quite nice. Very nice. And we see a lot of flower pictures around here. Yeah, but they're very, very pretty. I don't know what flower it is.
Yeah, it's got that odd little circular thing in the center there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
these are sure nicely captured, though.
Ba-boom. Yeah, it's cool.
It's definitely a praise winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we like them.
Thank you. And Jim has some open projector images.
This is a science museum in Minneapolis.
That's your son, right?
Yeah, that's our son. He traveled with me to Minneapolis, and we saw some of the city. There's
Yeah.
another. These are dioramas, wonderful. They said that some of them are 100 years old, I think. Anyway, from the 1900s. Now this is in memory of David.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Maker Faire.
Yeah. So for folks who didn't know David, David in the background passed away last month. So
Is someone helping his wife?
Well, he has children.
his daughter was with his wife at the funeral, and so, but I don't know if she's staying with her now or what the arrangements are, because David was taking care of his wife before he passed away,
Right.
and it was very sudden. He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and gone a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quick.
My wife died from that. It's a horrible disease.
Well, we're sorry about that too. Now this is Leonardo da Vinci's horse that was planned in the 1480s, but never made. A clay one was made, but not made in bronze. 500 years later, a man named Meyer in Grand Rapids, Michigan, paid the cost of making the horse for these gardens in Grand Rapids. Well, Milan felt that they ought to have it, so Mr. Meyer made 2 horses. It's 26 feet high, and this gives you a little idea of the scale.
It's huge.
Now, Mr. Meyer had a chain of grocery stores that sell other things too. And believe it or not, his first name is Frederick Meyer.
That's not Fred Weiner of the Portland area, is it?
No, it's a different guy, and he spells his name differently.
Okay.
But I could just hardly believe it. The stores are similar. Anyway, he put together this amazing place. If you're in Grand Rapids, Michigan, don't miss the Meyer Gardens. I think I have a couple more pictures from it. This is at an art museum in Muskegon, Michigan. And the pieces are plastic, but they look like scientific glassware. Now this sculpture is titled Minotaur Reading. This huge Minotaur is reading this tiny book. I had to look up Minotaur. And this is my cousin with some of the art at the art museum. It's not a big city, but it sure has a nice art museum. There's another sculpture. And there's the stairway at the museum.
You've made them look really steep in that photo.
Yeah, I guess they do look steeper than they were normal. They were normal. They do look steep.
That's a nice geometric composition there. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Now here I have 3 or 4 pictures of a chessboard here where I live. I live in a retirement place, and the chessboard is set up on a table. Different angles. One, two, three, 4.
That morning light or evening light?
Evening.
Ah, okay. Dramatic angle on the lighting there.
No, let me see. Maybe no. I think it must be morning. I think it must have been morning.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'll check that out.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I was just curious.
Anyway, Lou, this is a library in Muskegon, Michigan. And here's some of the this is the detail. There's a fireplace in each room of the library. And lots of detail. The hinges of the doors have detail in the fireplace. Now we're back to the Meyer Gardens in Grand Rapids, and there's a view of the horse.
So the clay model that was made 500 years prior must have been a much smaller scale then, and they.
No, it was full size.
Well, seriously? Wow, it was preserved all this time?
It was outdoors, and it was destroyed by the weather.
Huh.
Now this is what's this? This is at the Meyer Gardens. An exhibit called Busts. It's made of little wooden pieces. And this is a
hype or a
yeah,
shot.
this is a hyper.
The guard moved.
And it's sort of the first
Yeah.
one at the
Yeah, probably taken from 3 or 4 feet apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the guards, in one of the shots. And the next slide shows more of the depth in these walls. All 4 walls of this big room are this. And this up on the ceiling. Now this is back to the Science Museum in Minneapolis. And on the screen it shows the mating dance of a bird. And then they encourage people to follow it. And I think probably the video is connected to what the person's doing. I don't know. But this boy is acting how the bird dances.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Okay, and so what we're going to do is, as specified by the bylaws, in the event that one of our officers is unable to serve, we conduct an election at the next meeting, which this is, for an officer to fill the unexpired term. So this is through April, which is when our normal annual elections are. And so Mark has, I think, somewhat reluctantly volunteered to serve, but I think he'd be very, very happy if anybody else wanted to run against him. So I'm going to open nominations. If there are anybody who'd like to either nominate themselves or somebody else to serve as a vice president. Nominations are open.
Part of my worry about agreeing to this was that I don't think anybody can do all the things Herb does as president, so we'd all be floundering if something were to happen to him.
Yeah. But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Okay, well, since there are no other nominations, congratulations, Mark, or condolences, Mark, as the case may be.
Yeah.
And thank you for agreeing to serve.
Okay.
And what I'm also going to mention is that the club is governed by, in addition to the officers, a board of directors, and the board meets over Zoom. We don't have an in-person meeting on the 3rd Wednesday evening of every month. So if anyone would like to join the board and, sort of get a less intense introduction to the, running of the club, be happy to, entertain anybody who'd like to self-nominate, and we can, put you on the board pretty quickly. Okay, well, thank you, and moving on. The PSA Photo Festival, so there are a couple things that are going to be displayed at the photo festival. One is the PSA annual 3D exhibition, which the Cascade Stereoscopic Club volunteered to conduct. We weren't the sponsor, sponsored by PSA. We didn't retain any of the entry fees. We just sort of volunteered to help out the organization. So that exhibition will be shown at the photo festival on Friday, and then also the non-star competition, which was only open to PSA members who had not earned a star in 3D competition, and we didn't get very many entries in that, but anyway, we will show the medal winners from that exhibition also at the photo festival. So I do have some good news. In normal situations, you have to pay either for the entire week or for each day that you want to attend any event. And since the 3D division dinner is Thursday and the rest of the 3D events are on Friday, if you wanted to attend the dinner, you normally would have had to pay for 2 days. But they have agreed that if somebody is registered for Friday, or is registering for Friday and wants to attend the dinner on Thursday, they don't have to pay for Thursday just to attend the dinner. They can register for Friday and then register for the dinner, and it will allow them to do that. Now, the deadline for registering is this Friday, and I don't know if that means midnight on Friday or 8 a.m. on Friday. I mean, it's very last minute. They really need to get a final number. So ideally, if you want to register for the dinner, don't wait till Friday. Register, ASAP. So there, I guess, a lot of things will be presented at the dinner. So for anybody in Portland, there's no travel expenses, no lodging expenses, so it's worth attending. Any questions on the photo festival?
For people who are not PSA members, are you required to join to come to this thing? Or
No, you are not required to join. I think there is a higher, for pre-registration there was a big discount for PSA members. I'm not sure if there's a difference in price at this point. But you do not have to join PSA to attend this event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still doing the Portland 3D presentation?
It's actually on the program. So.
What I mean is, are you still looking for?
Yes.
For images.
Yes, we are. So there is an event on the program. I think it's called 3D Adventures in Portland or something similar. And we're looking for, anybody who wants to supply photos for that program. So, one photo or multiple photos, whatever you'd like to share, you can send them to me.
Herb, do you want those to be in MSG or
MPO? I don't care. Whatever format you have.
JPEG will be okay?
JPEG is fine.
There will be programs all day Friday, so count on staying all day if you come to it.
Okay, so anyway, I encourage people to register for that event. And if you do want to join PSA, I know that early on there was a savings for PSA members who wanted to register for the entire event. The early registration has long since closed, but at the time you could register for $200 versus $325 for the entire week if you were a PSA member. And if you just want a digital membership with no printed journal, it's only $45 a year to join PSA. And so the next couple of meetings, the next meeting, we're always the fourth Monday of the month, so September 22nd, the theme is weather, and we'll also select images for the first round of ISCC. We'll show the second part of the folio. And then the October meeting, the theme is landmarks. And we'll show the third part of the ISU folio. And thanks everybody. The meeting is officially over, but happy to hang around and socialize and talk about anything that anyone is interested in talking about. 3D movies, 3D Blu-rays, virtual reality devices, techniques, cameras, you know, anything. So if you need to take off, thanks for coming. If you want to hang around and socialize, happy to do that.
Well, I'm going to take off, and you all have a good night.
Okay.
Adios.
See you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. I got some Blu-ray news, I guess.
Okay.
During the convention, Eric Drysdale showed a couple of videos, and he mentioned that these were special features on some of the Blu-rays that were, and Eric Drysdale showed his presentations dealt with stereo realist slides from the 50s and the 60s used in commercial, like to sell furniture or Oldsmobiles or dual machines. It was very interesting. Two very interesting presentations, and he mentioned that they were special features. And I went and looked, and they were by the 3D film archivists, I guess.
Archive, yeah.
Okay, but I found them on a 3D Blu-ray on Amazon called Dynasty, and it's supposedly a kung fu movie, and Matt is looking for it, I guess. Oh, Matt has it.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the special features on that, it has these two videos from Eric Drysdale. They were very well done. So, and it's like only $17 on Amazon.
Huh, Dynasty.
Okay,
Is
well,
Dynasty?
I guess I'll
That's
have
the name
to.
of the Chinese movie, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to order that.
Yeah, mine's coming tomorrow, I think.
It's an interesting title. It was shot with a I forget the name of the system, but a lens attachment, not a two-camera system.
Oh.
And some of the stereo effects are very good. Sometimes it's clear they forgot to clean the mirrors and the lens attachment, so you'll have a little bit of dust or something, a bit of retinal rivalry. But it's definitely a lot of fun, and definitely a movie from the era. Yeah, I think it's must be a Hong Kong production. Yeah, recommended.
Okay, thank you,
Cool.
Matt. Thank you, Ken and Matt. And actually, I forgot to mention it when I was showing my Mid-Journey cats, but Ken recommended a book. I don't know if you want to talk about that book, Ken.
Oh, yeah. Empire of AI is a recent, I guess I would say it's a technical review of OpenAI from a few years ago, and it starts with a prologue of where the board fired the CEO and then rehired him over the weekend or something. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of intrigue.
Sam Altman.
Yeah, Sam. And but it talks about how AI people who are using AI, there's a social cost of AI beyond your monthly subscription, and it delves into the the impacts of data centers, and it talks about using you know uh, resources like energy resources and causing more people to run fossil fuels and water usage. And then it also talks about how they used people in South America to create their models and sort of in the testing of the models. And they used them through a separate company, and that company paid like very low wages to, and I forget where the countries that the people were from, but these people were like they were refugees, and they were living, in poverty, and they were getting paid very, very low wages. So it was an interesting book. I think in the second half it got a little bit preachy and repetitive, but if you want to hear more about AI and the companies that are doing the work, like OpenAI, and by comparison, Meta, Google, etc. It's a good book to read.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
And Herb, I was going to ask you, when you do your Mid-Journey or your Owl 3D, is that done locally on your computer hardware, or is it going back to the cloud?
So Mid-Journey is totally cloud-based, and Owl 3D is running on my computer. So
Okay.
Owl 3D is not cloud-based.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, I think like Gary, I just downloaded like the latest beta version of Owl 3D. I was gonna try that, see how it did.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, I've got an older Quadro card, and it has four gigs of memory, but on my system, the Owl looks at that and says, "Nope, we're running it through the CPU." It said you've got to have at least 6 gigs of memory for it to run in the graphics card. And fortunately, I have another card that has 8 gigs of memory, so I'll be setting that in there. It had some other issues, not big issues, but other issues that are why I'm not using it to start with. But I'm glad I finally I'm going to have a good excuse to use that more advanced card. So yeah, I mean, what I saw from it was pretty good. I don't think what I had looked as good as, I just had random photos, and I didn't think they came out as well as Herb's images, but, keep working with it.
Now, John Hart at the ISU Congress apparently did a workshop on AI, and it is available online, and I can look for the link and put it into the chat if people are interested.
I would be interested in that.
John Hart has made all of his videos available, and one of them is the 2025 presentation or workshop on AI. He makes a big case for using AI to do his current stereos, and how much better it is than traditional stereo. So I'll take a look for the only thing is that these files are very large. So for me it was like a 9 gigabyte download for the presentation, but you can see the some of his slides in the link.
Okay, I appreciate it. So, I'm not sure that I would ever call AI superior to traditional 3D photography. But on the other hand, if you don't have a 3D photo and you want to get one, then that seems like a good way to go. Okay, so on another topic, there was a series of posts in the Photo 3D group just a few days ago, I believe, and ongoing about a YouTube video of Rich Dubnow and Image 3D and ViewMaster. And so I don't have that link available now, but you can find it on Photo 3D, and I think I will put it into stereo views.
And, speaking of Image 3D,
I didn't look at it. It's very good.
Speaking of Image 3, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, go ahead.
Somebody said that Image 3D would be making a ViewMaster viewer, and they said it was at least a year away. Well, it's been at least a year since I heard that. Anybody know if that came out?
They have been making them for some time, but they are planning some new versions.
Yeah, the new versions, as far as I know, are not yet available. What I understand is that the new version will have a wider field of view. So
that's what I'm after.
Yeah, so if you have an old ViewMaster reel, you can view it in the new ViewMaster viewer, but you wouldn't see any advantages. But if you make new ViewMaster reels after the new viewer is released, they will be bigger pictures, and if you put the new reels in the old viewer, you won't see the entire image. That's
the same thing I heard.
And well, ViewMaster has one viewer, it has an oval front, and it has a larger picture. And I would like to get a couple more of those. I've bought a couple on eBay. But after seeing that larger image, other viewers seem too small an image.
Yeah, I didn't know the viewer was even available yet.
Well, that sounds like maybe the Model D ViewMaster viewer that has better lenses and gives you
the focusing ViewMaster. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but that isn't from Image 3D. That's a very old.
No, that's old.
No, the one I'm talking about has an oval front. And Mark, I have an answer to your question about morning or evening light. It was morning.
Oh, okay. It was nice and dramatic, whichever time it was.
Good, thank you.
I got one question or observation. I'm not as active as I used to be, so this may be old news for everybody else, but I just came across something called 3D Stereoid. It's on the website for Stereo Data Maker, and it's a cell phone application. It's pretty slick. Lets you do cha-cha photographs with your cell phone, but the cool thing is it tries to do some auto alignment. So it's supposedly using a similar algorithm to the Stereo Data Maker alignment. So I just found that the other day and was playing with it. It actually seems to do a pretty decent job for handheld cha-chas on a cell phone. Kind of remarkable.
Yeah, I believe that's from the same developer that created Stereo Photo Maker. So,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's on that website.
It's on the website too, as well as your Google store, I guess. Right. What do they call it? I guess it's called the Google store.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'll give that a try.
Yeah. You
I
know,
found that program
Jen's sword.
helpful.
go ahead.
They have versions for iPhone and for Android.
yes.
I think the name is a little bit different, but
Yeah, I found that program helpful for doing sequential shots, but I have found after it does its alignment, when I download them onto my computer and take them into Stereo Photo Maker does a little bit more tweaking and aligns things a little better. So I don't trust the alignment on 3D Steroid, but it's helpful to be able to take the two shots. It shows you a ghost image, so you can kind of line up the second shot over the first when you're shooting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and actually just previewing it on the cell phone, they're not too bad.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps. But I found running it through Stereo Photo Maker afterwards, Stereo Photo Maker still changes a few things on it to tweak it a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that also.
Well, I'll volunteer something. I know a month ago, at this point in the meeting, I said that I was going to install Windows 8.1 on an old machine that's outfitted with the NVIDIA 3D Vision equipment and power supply and so forth. And so I've done that, and it's been working out okay. I mean, I'm still kind of assembling the different softwares and trying to figure out how things work. I was impressed though that I got, after installing Windows 8.1, I got well over 100 updates from Microsoft. I didn't expect that. I thought, it was just going to be whatever was on the disk was going to be it. But there were some substantial updates, and most of the programs I've downloaded from the web don't seem to have a problem with that version of Windows, which is also something I wasn't at all sure about. So that's been a couple of good experiences. And, I tried for years, kind of played around with 3D Vision using Linux. And now that I'm into Windows, I mean, a couple of things seem to work easier. And also I'm slowly getting an appreciation of what the program's all about, I mean, there are things there's a lot of documentation available, but it's just not very well organized. It just doesn't tell the story very well of how the system works. And slowly I'm getting that together. Like, I didn't know that 3D Vision is a DirectX application. That's a thing with its Microsoft, what would you call it, Herb? Microsoft system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got OpenGL, which they usually refer to as quad buffered stereo. And they treat them as different animals. And some applications use one and some use the other. And very often the documentation you'll read will talk about how the driver works, the driver for your card works, but they're not talking about a Quadro card. I bought the so-called professional card because I thought it would be better, and the older ones are not expensive really. But the drivers for those cards, which I guess were made for scientific applications, don't actually do everything that the gaming drivers do. They say the hardware's slower. Maybe that's true. I think the gaming drivers would actually add 3D to applications that didn't normally have it. in some cases with varying degrees of success. So that's been an interesting little journey there.
So if you want to write something up for stereo views, we'd be happy to.
Sure.
I bet those 100 updates tied up your machine for a while there.
That wasn't bad. You know what's a nice piece of equipment? There's a company called A10 that makes a KVM switch. They made 2 KVM switches that worked with 3D vision. So, and I happen to have both of them, the 2-port and the 4-port. And so, you know, while the one machine's updating, I can happily be computing on the other machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's, I've had those for some time. And when they die, who knows, you know? I mean, I think I'll have to just move on.
So a month ago or so, I noticed one of my neighbors down the street had a drop box, and his grown children were helping him clean out a daylight basement, apparently, just throwing everything out. And they said, hey, if you want anything, go ahead and help yourself. And I grabbed a few garden hoses and things, but then I saw a box labeled 3D TV stuff. And so I grabbed that and opened it up, and there were several 3D Blu-rays in there, but then there was a whole stack of 3D DVDs, which were encoded in the Sensio 3D format.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done some reading up on that. Apparently, you had to either have a decoder from that company, or now Stereoscopic Player will apparently play those. There's a Sensio 3D setting that you can turn on. But I don't have Stereoscopic Player, so I'm hoping some other method comes along.
So I did at one point, somebody gave me a Sensio decoder.
Oh.
And I realized that this was for an old, you know, CRT type TV, not for a, you know, a new, you know, HD TV, because it basically depended on the TV doing, the two fields,
Yeah.
and it you know, basically it would do one field would be the left eye, the other field would be the right eye, and when I looked at it, I said, okay, number one, I don't have any CRT TVs, nor am I interested in getting any, and it looked like it was going to be much lower resolution. I said, why would I ever want it? So it went to Free Geek, which you know, Free Geek will take old electronics that have no other use and you know, recover the you know, the components, so it's you know, more environmentally friendly disposal. So that Sensio thing is long gone, but I just thought I'd mention what I knew about it.
Yeah, well, apparently that may have had some other format options too, but the Sensio, from what I've read, is a side-by-side format. So I threw it on my Blu-ray player and put it on the LG TV and set it to side-by-side stereo, and it actually worked, but because there's a big black border around the sides and the bottom, the disparity was way off, so I had to like really go wall-eyed to preview it with the polarized glasses on. I could see it in 3D, but I wouldn't want to, you know, inflict that on anybody else because they'd probably get a headache instantly. So I couldn't find any way on the LG TV to adjust the spacing, the parallax on the two images to get them more overlapped over each other. So I could tell there's stereo on there, but it was not viewable without their decoder.
There was a guy from Australia was selling a lot of that. I tried some of it. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah, and it is lower resolution too, because it's DVD rather than Blu-ray, so the beginning resolution is lower to start with. But I don't know if all the titles that were available in that format ever made it to Blu-ray, so there may be some that's the only way you can get them, though.
Well, no. So the other way to get them now is run them through Owl 3D.
Oh, well.
I have converted some videos using Owl 3D, and as in my mind, I mean, the quality is, so you saw the quality of the photos. In my mind, the quality of the videos, the 3D conversion was just as good. I mean, it's not to say there were zero artifacts, but if you thought the Owl 3D did a good job on photos, it basically, on the videos, it processes each frame, one frame at a time, as it would process a photo. And so, I mean, it's not a real-time conversion. You drop a video on and you come back in half an hour, you know, to get your result. But I think it did a good job.
I think some of these were maybe filmed in like 3D IMAX way back in the early days of that, and I would assume those maybe would be better quality than a conversion, but I'm kind of a stickler for artifacts, so what bothers me doesn't bother some other people.
Okay, but basically I'm comparing it to a DVD, which is 480. You know, I think it's 640 by 480 is the maximum that you can get out of a Blu-ray. So I'd rather have an HD conversion than a and basically, if you're using the Sensio, you're only getting half of the resolution of 640 by 480. I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
I mean, but we can get into political arguments too.
Yeah, I've never seen a 3D DVD. I mean, unless it was Anamorphic. I've had a couple of those. You know, I mean, that's like a 3D VHS. You know.
I was not familiar with Sensio 3D. In fact, I opened the box and thought, oh, score, look at all these Blu-rays. And then I realized most of them were not Blu-rays.
Yeah, if you look for Sensio 3D, you'd probably find some Sensio 3D DVDs on eBay or something.
Okay, yeah.
And then you...
yeah, I do have a handful of those, you know, what do they call it?
Field sequential.
Alternate field sequential. I do have a few of those at home, and I might have the equipment, still have the equipment to view that on a tube-based television.
Oh,
Yeah, or
sure,
yeah.
Yeah, I got rid of all my tube-based TVs. Good riddance. I don't want them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, likewise.
Okay, I think we seem to be slowing down a little. I'm happy to hang around if there's anything else. Otherwise, I guess I'll see folks next month, and thanks for attending. And if you want the chat, save the chat before you leave the meeting, because once you leave the meeting, you can't get the chat back.
Good night, all. Thanks, Herb.
Yep.
Right.
Take
Well,
care.
Thanks,
so
Herb.
long, all.
See y'all next month.
See you, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Yeah, well.
Plan 9 from outer space in 3D.
Herb, are you still there?
Yes.
Reaper Madness 3D.
I would like to mail to you a bunch of Real D 3D movie glasses
Yeah, yeah.
for us to use at the PSA Festival.
Okay.
And I think I have your mailing address. If you want to double check it or send me separately, that would be fine.
I can put in the chat right now.
Okay.
It is in the chat.
Okay, that looks the same as I already have, but I'll double check. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, well, thanks, Lee.
Thanks for everything.
And actually,
Good show.
I do have a question. So the 3D programs, so it do have people in the past used a Blu-ray player to play all the content for the programs? Because if I'm hooking it up to a projector which has an HDMI and expects the frame packed 3D, I don't know of any way to play that through a computer. In other words, I believe it has to be done through a Blu-ray. Is that correct?
Well, we've always done it with a computer with a projector with the polarizer, the electro-optical polarizer thing on the front.
Okay, so I don't have a laptop. So essentially, do you have a laptop that you can bring? So if we need to do anything from a laptop,
Yes, I will.
okay. So
Now you have a 3D projector.
I do have a 3D projector. It's the Optima. It's one of the Optima.
That's the brand I use.
And then I have the polarizing modulator.
And it has a connection on the back of the projector for the 3D sync.
Exactly. Okay.
We ought to be in good shape.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't even know there was a way to connect up I guess, yeah, probably you just connect up a computer with HDMI and set it so that it recognizes side-by-side half or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, I have the projector, I have the silver screen, I have the modulator, but so if you bring the computer, we'll be in good shape.
Great. Great.
Okay, looking forward to seeing you next month. Thanks for joining us. And,
by the way, Diane Rulian was at NSA with a friend, so I got to see her a lot. She's from out your way.
Okay. And so I actually saw her after the convention because I was helping her out with Stereo Photo Maker, which she didn't feel comfortable using. And she hopes to make it to some of these meetings. She doesn't have a car, so Les has offered to pick her up and bring her to the meetings, but she wasn't available tonight.
Okay. By the way, the dinners, most of them are buffet. So if people are worried about not getting what they want, or if they're vegetarians or something, they can usually sort out and get special things like that.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, I guess that's all I've got now.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
It was fun to see you at the convention in Minneapolis.
Yes, yes.